This conference will now be recorded.
So today is Friday, June 19th, and as always, everything that we're going to be talking about today is for educational purposes only, and nothing is intended as any type of investment advice. So we got a ton of stuff that's going on during the pre-market so far. Not the best show of hands, but we definitely got some good stuff coming out there. So first thing I'm going to be looking on at is COHN. So coming into this morning, as we were kind of building up right around that 15 level, we have to understand something with this stock is that first of all, most of the bursts are going to come over here. Okay, they're going to come in just regular time and sales because of the fact that the orders are so thin and the spread is jumping around a whole bunch. You know, when you have anytime that you pretty much have a spread that's over 20 cents, you're going to end up seeing a lot more coming in over here that you do have to pay attention to. But what that does is it makes it even more important when you see prints that come on the bigger time, the bigger time in sales, because of the fact that they just hold so much more weight. It is not easy to be able to go out there and buy 2,500 shares or 1,000 shares or 1,500 and so on and so forth. So far, one thing we do want to remember is we're at that 20 level. We talked about this yesterday morning, but 20 is just one of those levels that has been just a real big pain. It's so close to zero, but then it's also so close to getting out of kind of that smaller cap type range. But overall, just keep in mind, they're going to be playing games there. But if you look right here, I mean, that's a lot. This, the two prints that we saw come in at 21, the 2,000 and 1,000, that's telling us a whole bunch. And remember, 3,000 shares on a stock like this is a huge, huge amount. So going to be expecting a pullback underneath that 20, even underneath that 18, which we really have not seen yet. When we came back down the first time, somebody came in and sold at that level. So I wouldn't be shocked to see this thing take a real big hit because of the fact that it's going to be very, very hard to hold the 20 before we'd be looking for a trigger to go back towards that, first of all, double top, but based off the prints at 21, you're talking about it has a lot more room than that. And then obviously we're going to be paying, very close attention to the prints that are going to be coming in as it moves back towards that area. Next thing is SHLL. So this is an interesting one because earlier I was kind of thinking, well, not really thinking, but leaning more towards the short side of things. We came up to 750, 1750. We got some pretty nice selling that was coming in. Then we came down to 17. It was okay. And then 1650, a little bit more. But you could see that there's a lot of covering that's starting to come in around this 16 area. And the reason I say covering is because of the fact that it just makes more sense for them to be coming in than to be buying, on that downtrend coming back in. But either way, it doesn't matter. Okay, whether it's buying, whether it's covering. One's telling us that it doesn't have much more room down. The other one tells us that it has more room up. So either way, this is a lot. We keep seeing it kind of refresh a little bit at this 16. So I'm going to have to expect us to fall underneath this print line, underneath that 1550, before we'd be looking for us, for ourselves to be able to go back up. Just keep in mind, 15 is right there. So more than likely, we're going to see that act as a magnet on any type of pullback and kind of drag it back towards there. And then at that 15 level, it's going to give us a lot more information on what to use these 16 ask prints for. Next thing, UONEK, my least favorite ticker to type. So both UONE and UONEK, same, just different classes. One a lot cheaper, obviously, and one's definitely a lot more controllable. But we could see beautiful volume coming in from this morning. And yesterday, we knew that this thing just kept building and building and building and building and building. So we ended up getting that beautiful move that started at about 7 o'clock. Now, ever since 8 o'clock came in, we have been seeing a bunch of selling. So I don't really see a clear game plan in this yet. I mean, it definitely, the bigger prints have shown mostly buying around this 5 level, but it's just not enough for me to be able to say that it's going to be able to pop back up to that 650. So I'm going to need to see a little bit more to come into this and a better show of hand, especially sitting around that 5, because we know the market makers are going to be sitting there playing games. UONE is the other one that we're going to be looking at. This one I like a little bit better just based off the prints that I've seen, okay? Because as we fell back underneath that 40, you could see the second we came back up, we had some nice buying. Okay, at 40, then 41, 41, 42. And this is the same type of deal that we were just talking about in COHN. The one, few prints are going to go a very, very long way. We can see that just from yesterday. Remember those, 4 ask prints at 26? Well, look what ended up happening this morning. We're talking about a jump up to almost 55. So this thing's a huge mover. But I'm going to tell you something. If you're not a higher level trader, do not do it to yourself, because this thing will eat you absolutely alive. All right, if you're kind of newer, you definitely focus more on UO and EK, because that's going to be way more controllable than a stock that's that basically from this morning has jumped up almost 20 bucks. All right, so definitely make sure that it fits your game plan if you're going to be looking for this. And then obviously, everyone else, if you are more advanced, this is like a level 10 stock, then basically just have a field day with it, because it's going to have a very, very large range. Now, next thing, going over to our side list. So first thing I was looking at was HUSN on our side list, and I'm not as happy as I was with it. It started to get some nice volume coming in, but then the trading just absolutely died. And if we come back, you can see there just wasn't much at those highs that came in at that 145. So I'm going to keep an eye on it. This was a stock that we had on our list from yesterday, but it's kind of dying out a little bit. And like I said, I was very disappointed in the reaction buying as it kind of moved up and came towards that 150 level. Next thing is CARV. So I'm putting this on our side list because, yes, as we know from yesterday, it gets a little bit nasty. My biggest concern is that once the market opens, we're not really going to get much trading that's coming into it, and then the volume's not going to be there. That's why I'm putting it on our side list. But the same type of deal in this stock, a few prints are going to go a very long way. You can just see we haven't really got them yet. Okay, when we came up to 16, you had one, but that's not going to be enough for us to be able to go, base our morning off of. So definitely need to see more prints coming into here. But when you find a show of hand in it, remember, a few go very, very far. The range should definitely be, basically just like how it has been, and we should expect a lot coming in. So any type of show of hand, remember, those prints are going to hold a lot of weight. BYFC, another one looking at that's going to be on our side list. So I liked it a lot better this morning as we started coming back, towards that top and pushing towards that 4 level. It lets me go back, which it's not going to, but we did, as we were sitting in this consolidation over here, the first time coming up, we did have right at 8 o'clock some really nice ask prints that came in at that 4. Based off of that, I mean, it does need to pull back. It's another one where it's kind of dying, and but I would watch the support level right here. We can see where that gap started, and we kind of bounced right off of that. And then let's look at this 350, which unfortunately does not look like we got much there at all. So it's kind of dying out a lot. I liked it a lot better earlier, before we started seeing it kind of selling off to a certain extent. And then IDEX. IDEX is another one where we got some nice ask prints that came in at that 250. Not really that much, again, not as much as I would have liked to see towards those highs. So this is another one where I have to put on the side list, but we know it can move. We've seen it, it's not going to move huge, but 50 cents in a stock like this is a big deal. So another one going to be keeping an eye on, but it doesn't really have what it needs, and that's pretty much almost all of our side list stocks that we've been looking at. So the problem with SQ, I saw the prints at 100, okay, and I saw that coming in, but it's not doing anything. It's not trading. So, is it going to trade today? Probably. And I'll definitely throw it on our list because those prints based off of it not trading whatsoever are something that definitely are going to come to fruition. Remember, 100's very, big psychological level. So I'm going to be expecting this thing to pull back pretty substantial from here, because if you look, this is the pattern we talk about all the time. You have 100, then followed right by bids. You usually get that move up first before it satisfies not only the selling to make money towards the downside, but the ask prints to be able to build and end up pushing back down there. Yeah, second time printing it. So you know what? It's not my favorite whatsoever, but based off of this story, it is pretty clear based off of those prints. Just remember too that they happen very, very early. So a lot of times it takes a longer time for those to come into fruition. And then the only other thing that I'm just looking at as I was talking was the fact that Oxy's printing a whole lot this morning. If you take a look right here, that 2080 level and then 2050, those are some nice prints compared to the fact that it really just isn't doing much trading whatsoever. So it might be, I'm not going to put it on our list because it's, once again, it's not doing anything. There's better stocks for us to be looking at right away, but just something to definitely keep in the back of your mind. All right, guys, anything else out there that I missed? Anything else out there that I missed? No, all right, so let's get ready for our morning. Let's make sure we're focusing on our trading patterns, understanding what we need to work on and making sure that it's our main focus. Remember, there'll be no afternoon meeting because it is Friday. So I'll say it again before we end our day, but I do want to wish all the fathers a happy Father's Day coming up this Sunday. I will talk to everybody in the chat, and happy trading.